Hey everybody, don't mind the state of my room. There's extension cords and boxes around. It's not because I'm having a lot of fun. Actually, I am. We've been decorating for Halloween. And I told Beanie I was going to wait a little bit longer to start the video, but my son keeps breaking in here. I want to be able to talk without him disturbing me because I'm going to use a bunch of foul language to tell some pretty crazy stories and talk about some stuff that kids don't need to hear about. Kids don't need to hear about anxiety and cigarettes and uh, divorces and all these wonderful things. They need to have a good, innocent, pure life while they can before they become adults and get all fucked up in the head like us. So I'm sorry, Beanie. It's starting to get pretty hot. I was gonna have the door open and it was already starting to get all sweaty, and I'm like, no, gotta open the door. Or I close the door and turn on the AC. So that's what I did. Good morning, Isabel. I figured I'd see you. You seem to be here early in the morning with us. It's not that early, but we're having another heat wave out here, and so this is like our last hurrah of the summer. The summer's like about to end, and so it's yeah, door shut. And all I could hear this morning was my neighbor chasing her dog up and down the street. And they say the most ridiculous things while they do it. You're a bad dog. You're a bad dog. And I'm going, stupid dog, ugly dog, lots of things, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck am I? I'm just a lady talking on YouTube about God knows what, given the day and the scenario. So let's see. Today will not be a super long live stream, but I want to vent about a couple things. And as I usually say, I don't expect many people to show up on these earlier live streams. Most people watch these later and hit me up about them later and go, oh, hey, your heat wave just ended early this morning. We are just, it's Arizona, so we live in a heat wave. But we're spiking back up to like, I don't know, it was like 105 or 106. They called for a 108, which I wouldn't even really care. It's Arizona. We live here in the summer. And I was like, shit, yeah, we can go to the river. But the dentist thing happened. And so my son can't help but get river water in his mouth. And so I can't let him go down to the river right now because he will get river water in his mouth. So let's start out with something simpler and let's get into the more amped up stories like my quitting smoking. I just started. I feel really, really good about it. I've quit once before, many years back, and they say that, do it when you're motivated. And so even when I was talking to my friend Quasar last night and saying, hey, I think I'll just wait till tomorrow. And even while I'm saying it, I'm like, I don't know. And the idea was like, I don't want to waste. Yes, it's humid here too for whatever reason. I'm not sure where you're at, Isabel, but it's been humid here and we can't stand it. We're used to the dry heat. So I was like, no, and I don't want to waste cigarettes. And so what I did is I just sealed them up and I'm going to give them away to somebody. It's not the end of the world. I'm ready for it. And it's kind of funny when I have like a lot of traumatic events happen. The wheels in my head get turning and I'm like, what else can I do while things are already like this to improve upon myself or the life around me? The Deep South. It's like that little Mickey thing, the Deep South. So quit smoking. I'm using black peppercorn oil and bergamot. And what I did is I put them in little bottles around the house where my cigarettes would usually be. To be honest, I feel so great about doing it. And there's a second motivator that came up. I'm already anxious from the past couple weeks. It's been a crazy fucking month around here. And if it's not one thing, it's another. It was the relationship problems, and then it was, bills, and then it's just so much. So I got married when I was 21 years old, and wasn't with the guy long. We just went our own separate ways, and no one ever talked about it again. It's funny because one can easily forget, that you're married to someone. It's the weirdest thing. And it doesn't come up until I'm like talking to someone about a potential relationship or someone brings up divorce. And I'm like, hey, I can talk about this a little bit. Well, so I went ahead and did it. every county is different, and the procedure to do these things is different, especially when you're not like in contact with a person like I am. I've seen him on my Facebook. I see him eating cereal with an aluminum foil crack spoon, for example, but I can't seem to get him on the same page. And at some point, he was dating somebody and was going to get married and had contacted me about the divorce. And I thought, like, that's a good idea. I should just go ahead and get this done. And so I already keep a lawyer's firm, as I've mentioned to you guys. I keep lawyers like on the payroll, if you will, right? And so I contacted them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is all really easy, especially if he'll just give you an address. So you get the paperwork delivered, he signs the no contest, and we'll have it done, right?" Cool, sounds simple. So I contact this individual that's gone through some stuff in his life, so he's not kind of all there. Lots of drug problems, lots of mental problems and stuff. And I said, "Hey, address, get this done." And he was all like, "Oh, gives me this address. Uh, the paperwork gets sent there, and apparently he went to jail again." I looked up his record. It kind of seems like it's a very regular thing. And I'm not even talking shit because I've been to jail more than a few times. And no, this is more than a few times. And so, God, I could go into the whole story. I'm hesitant as to whether I should share the whole story. Maybe I should. I mean, the channel is Learning from Life with Ashley. And that's kind of why I picked that. Because like I said, not only does it cover my disdain for dogs or my knowledge on training animals and how barbaric that is, but it's so many things. It's surviving childhood trauma, it's dealing with daily anxiety, it's all the trades and work skills I have to do to keep things going, it's raising children, it's don't get married, kids, unless you're so certain about what you're doing. So I will share some of the details of the story. So once he didn't sign the no contest, then one has to petition for divorce, a dissolution of divorce, right? So that costs $350. Okay, so we're not counting what I pay every month for the lawyer, right? And so I go to the clerk of courts, I pay $350 for a dissolution, a petition for divorce. And in some counties, it can be even more. I've seen places that were 400, 500, and especially depending on whether you have children together or not. So $350 then. Then you have to attempt to have these papers delivered to this person wherever you last. So I attempt with the address that was given to me to send the no contest paperwork that never got filled out. At this point, he's not contacting me back at all anymore. I see that they've broken up. This is the whole thing. But we're going to go into like Learning from Life with Ashley, why you need to be careful about who you make your ties with and sign government paperwork with. And so I send it out, but you can't just send it yourself. It has to be delivered to the sheriff's office through a sheriff. Every county and state is different. I finally get it there. They try to deliver it. The house is vacant. That cost me $17. Then there were some other fees for me to actually send the paperwork to the sheriff's office. So, now we're talking somewhere under $500. So that's pretty expensive for the average person. But wait, there's more. It gets worse. Then they have to send me back the paperwork saying they attempted to deliver this. You see, this is already a shit show, right? And we're talking like stacks of paper like this, and then they make you like duplicates. So my stack is like this, right? And okay, comes back to me. Then I have to go show the judge at the Superior Clerk of Courts that I have attempted in multiple ways to find this person, that they're just not contacting me back, that I also looked up their criminal record to make sure they weren't in the penal system. Penal just makes me laugh. And that, you check social media accounts and all this stuff. And so, I have to put all that in the paperwork and prove that to them and then turn that into the judge. And then the judge approves my ability to publish the divorce in the local newspaper of the county of which he last resided that I know of. So for someone like me that really, really has no idea, you just go, okay, well, I got married to this person in this county, so this is where I'm gonna, But for me, it's a little different. Every person's different. And so I do, and I contact them. You guys will not even believe. I mean, I was flabbergasted. In the area I'm in, you have to publish this divorce petition in the newspaper 4 times in a row to give them a chance to see it. Okay. And it cost $854 to publish this. Unreal. So, once it's been published for 4 weeks, then you have to take it back to the judge at the Superior Court and run it by them. And at that point, you may or may not have to go to court, but since he won't like show up, then I probably won't. And then you have to like pay some court fees. So we're at $1,200. Never owned any property together, don't have any children together, never filed taxes together, nothing. And so when I was looking, I'm seeing that people that do have any of these things together, it gets far more expensive. What's up, Auntie Muttnut? So good to see you. So, yeah, $1,200. And if I don't finish it and pay to publish it in the next like 30 to 60 days, they revoke everything and I'm right back to square one. So I went ahead and gave them the fucking money, right? So, yeah. Woo! Woo! Talk about anxiety. So this just added to an already anxious Ashley that was just like, ugh. And it's gotten to the point that I just was like, I can't fuck with anybody right now. Like my neighbor yelling at her stupid dog this morning. I generally would go out on my balcony and say, like, shut up, you know what I'm saying? Or fuck that dog or something like that. But instead, I said, no, Ashley, sometimes it's time to shut the fuck up. And I like to think I'm a person that generally knows when to shut the fuck up. I know myself. I know when I get super anxious and worked up, I won't shut up. So it was best for me to shut the fuck up, right? We know these days. Some of us are more sensitive to knowing when it's time to shut the fuck up than others. I know some people that just don't get involved and they keep themselves like spiritually and mentally safe from shit by not getting involved. I'm only that guy like maybe 70-80% of the time. There's a lot of time I can't help it. The same things you love about me are the same things you're gonna hate. I love saying that to people because it's true. You know, the outspoken Ashley that's like a hard ass and knows how to do all these things and trades and skills and has all these, redeeming qualities. And the other hand of all that, that double-edged sword, you have all of this terrible shit that you're just like, what is fucking wrong with this lady? Well, trust me, I know I have to live in it. So, yeah, $1,200 in, divorce will be done soon. Whew, and I quit smoking, which, like I said, I feel really good about. Real name hidden. I like that name. Hi, real name hidden. Hi, Tenzin Kittens. Hello, everybody. So, quitting smoking, that's great. I actually feel extremely confident about that. And what I've been doing is inhaling black peppercorn oil or bergamot oil and doing lots of exercises when I get to feeling some kind of way. And it's like working out really well. I can already tell a difference as I was, people who live in the heat, like in Arizona, were the opposite of people that live in the cold. You guys put on weight in the winter time because you're hiding out, right? And if you aren't working in the sun 24/7, which my work's like not a whole lot out in the sun, I like your username. Then you gain weight, right? So I've been like working indoors and I've been bored because, it'd be stupid hot and you don't want to go outside. And so, I'm like, I didn't gain a lot of weight, obviously. I mean, but enough where I was like, uh-oh, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've just been doing that. Let's see. I want to touch on anxiety for a minute. Let me turn this thing back. Hold on. It's like humid in Arizona, which is torture for us. What's up, word of the day. 50 degrees in New York. I stupidly walked outside in shorts this morning and now I'm back in sweatpants. Yeah, no shit. I've been hearing that actually. There's a couple places. Not us. This is our perfect time of the year. So as soon as this last little hurrah of heat is over, it's fucking gorgeous outside. I've had all the doors and shit open until today, and you could just feel it. Okay. What's up, Slime? What's up, Matthew? So yeah. All right, guys, anxiety's a motherfucker. And I see a couple people here I know that can relate. I know Slime deals with a lot of anxiety. Sometimes anxiety is induced by family members, friends, relationships, kids, bills, stress, that kind of shit. And sometimes it's something just some people live with. I remember years ago, I do a lot of natural stuff and deal with my shit naturally. And my naturopath said, like, Ashley, you have a lot of anxiety. And I was like, what? And the thing I think of back then, I was younger, when I heard the word anxiety was like a scared chihuahua pissing all over itself, right? And so when she said that, I was like kind of offended. I'm like, I'm no bitch ass, pussy ass little dog. Like I couldn't help, and then I actually looked it up. It's so dumb. So I go look up the definition. Like I said, I was younger. I go look up the definition and I'm like, oh, word, I've got that. I've got anxiety. And, so I started making changes and trying to, change things up. And it worked, So I've gotten better and better over the years, specifically as I've aged, dealing with my stress levels. The anxiety that came from that $885 divorce bill, on top of this story I'm about to share with you, and this shit is crazy. So, I don't know how many of you have had a dental appointment, okay, and been put under. Most adults don't, they just give you Novocaine. But for children, specifically special needs children, they will put them under, right? And so William had some extensive work to get done. I was super, super stressed and anxious about this because there's that mothering part of me that's sitting back going, fuck, what if he doesn't wake up? What if I lose my son? Now, I know that's dramatic, but, as a parent, like, and it's a real thing. Yes, it's rare, but it is a real thing. So I sat around for like weeks going, oh my God, oh my God. And as the appointment got closer, I'm like, shit, 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 shit. So we get there. Turns out that he's got more issues with his teeth than we thought because they wouldn't let him in there. They gas him as if that's not bad enough, right? So I have to hold him down to this table and hold this mask to his face. And he's like fucking thrashing and his whole body is like tensing up. And, as a mom, it's my job to like protect. And I understand what I'm doing is for his well being, but it does not feel great, you know. And so I'm just like holding him down like some kind of calf. And I just start crying real quiet. I'm like facing my head away so he can't see me. And he passes out from the gas. And they're like, okay, like, bye, see ya. It was all very rushed. And that felt kind of weird too. But then I know like they have some shit to do, right? And this isn't about like me and my emotions, but it was tough. And so I walk away and I'm trying to like wipe away my tears as I'm going out in the lobby because I gotta be tough. I want everybody to see me looking like a bitch, but I was totally a bitch. And I so stressed out. I mean, everybody around me knew. I'd been talking to Beanie Girl. I've been talking to Quasar, and letting everybody know how stressed I was, how freaked out I was. And so I fucking get there out into the lobby and, they tell us he's got all this other stuff. So fast forward, the procedure is done like pretty quick, right? But he's been put on an IV with anesthetic and gassed with laughing gas. So he's got like a lot of drugs in his system. And for a kid that's never had any drugs in his system, okay, dude, this kid, he seemed and would sound fun if it was me, but it wasn't. It's my kid, right? And so you're talking about Matthew. Good morning, Dark Nocturnal. Well, you're nocturnal. Of course, you just woke up. So we get out to the we get out to the vehicle, and I'm, watch like carrying him out there, and he starts to like thrash and shit. And I didn't expect it to like be as crazy as it was, right? But he like kicked my ass all the way home, and I don't mean it lightly. And he's messed up on drugs, right? So it's not like I can even like tell him no or anything. I'm trying to be like gentle. Never since I was a youngin' has anybody put their hands on me and I've not had the ability to fight back. So this is, tying into the anxiety situation. Wow. It gave a bitch like some flashbacks. Like, I know the difference. I understand what's happening is not the same. But I've not let anybody put their hands on me or hurt me like that without fighting back, and it was so crazy. It was like a really bad domestic violence situation. Like, I would try to tell him I love him, and he would hit me. I mean, this motherfucker is a badass, kind of like his mom. It would go from me trying to stop him and his hands from hitting me to him headbutting me, or then he'd bite me, or then he'd try to choke me. I mean, and this went on and on and on and on, like I said, for 45 minutes. And he's so wasted that, and he's got me, my buddy's got all these tools and stuff in his truck. So he's got me like bent over the tools, and like my back is hurting, and I'm all like folded over these tools, and he like climbs on top of me and gets over my face and is like I can't even recreate it if I tried. It was so fucking crazy. And I felt so bad, even though I'm sitting there going, this is wild. I don't know how to feel. This feels, like repressed memory style shit. Um, I mean, it was insane. For 45 minutes, I can't reiterate enough. And like he would stop at some point and turn around and try to unlock the door and jump out of it while we're going like 55, 60 miles an hour. So I'd reach over and stop him, obviously. And when I'd have my hands out to stop the door, he'd be like, plow, punch me right in the fucking face. Like, see my eye? It's not that bad, but there's like this big red spot right here. And then he got me over here. And then my nose, which I doubt you can see. What's up, Asher? Yeah, so it was fucking insane. I'm not, I know, dude. I know. That's why I had to share it with you guys. And, they warned me before I leave, like, hey, some people can be laughing and giggling. Sometimes they get aggressive. Sometimes they fight. Sometimes they cry and they're scared and all this. So I didn't know what to expect. I sure didn't expect. Now, here's where I made my big joke, because we all know I have to turn everything into some kind of humor. We got home, and I'll read that in a minute. We got home, and he once it stopped, right? It started to wear off. And then like, he might not even remember doing it. That's the crazy shit, right? Once it stopped, he's like all loving. He'll like reach over to love me, and I'm like, oh, like trying to get away from him. He's strong too. Like I said, he's got his shit from his mom. So he's like, suddenly he's fucking hungry. And I mean hungry. Like eats and eats and eats noodles, eats strawberries, eats applesauce, peanut butter sandwiches, yogurt, fuck, there was so much stuff. And I said, apparently whooping my ass for 45 minutes straight works up an appetite. So let's see what some of y'all are talking about here. I've seen some interesting comments, like from Real Name Hidden. I think you have another account, and I think I know. I'm not sure though. I got assaulted and had my back broken by LE. I'm not sure. Back in 2018, when I wasn't even in trouble, law enforcement, and I had to file a lawsuit against the PD here in New York. One of them had a history of abuse too. Holy shit. Crazy long surgery. Yeah, well, I hope you got fucking paid, because that's fucking insane. And, back surgery like that is going to cause you long-term issues. While we're on the situation and I'm reading this, yeah, sorry, real name hidden. It took me a minute. Still drinking coffee. Please send me your stories. They can be related to these stories. It could be about dogs. We still fucking talk about that. It could be about, toxic family members, your issues with anxiety, shit you've dealt with law enforcement. I believe Morpheus, if we all remember Morpheus, is going to write something about his experience with ayahuasca. So if any of you have an experience with hallucinogens or something more spiritual and herbal like ayahuasca, email me your information. I would love to hear it. Okay, so, and let's see. Dark Nocturnal said, I got hate crimed at school and beaten up by a bunch of dudes in 8th grade. So I'm glad to be in high school, far away from all them crazy hoes. I am too. Dark Nocturnal, I'm happy to hear that you're, and the thing is, like, we're never like completely safe, are we? It can happen when you're walking down the road. It can happen at a restaurant. It can happen on the bus. It can happen at school, at a bar. It's just, you always have to have your wits about you. And that's why I always tell everybody, when it comes to dogs or anything else, keep your weapons close, stay physically fit, be ready to fight for your fucking life. I'm fighting for my fucking life out here. So Slime says, now that I think of it, I can't tell. Oh, okay. He's talking about one of the people. Real name says, it was minimally invasive procedure, but I still get flare-ups. My Social Security claim got denied because apparently I'm not old enough. They like to do that. They do. And they want you to be like old enough. I remember my father filing for disability. He was like, I believe he was mid-40s at that point, and he's got 2 terminal illnesses. And they kept telling him, like, if there's a job you can do laying on your side and reaching out and hitting a switchboard, then you don't need Social Security. You can do this. So it's fucking crazy. So I don't know. I've got a lot of mixed emotions about the world of which we live. I think there's a lot of people that try to get disability when they shouldn't, and that fucks shit up. Then you've got, people that actually really need it that can't get it. It's, or like a type of disability that makes it where you can still work. And we have, like, for example, like at the senior center, we've got people that want to work and volunteer and stuff. And even then they have to be like, hey, they have to be careful on how much they can even come in and volunteer and help us, because it can affect their disability. Okay. So, and hey guys, I know this is going to be a strange transition from me just sitting around talking about dogs to talking about multiple topics. If you've seen, IHD shared one of my videos the other day. I want to give him a shout out and thank him for being so supportive. He's like, I've been supportive since the beginning. I think it's good that Ashley's doing this, because people need to see that dog haters are not just dog haters, that we're regular, everyday people that experience all kinds of things in life. And he shared the video, and I'm really appreciative of that. He has been always very supportive to me. I've been supportive to him. And I was very happy to see Four-Legged Plague hop in there and say, Ashley was the first person to share my videos. I knew when I seen Four-Legged Plague right away that this guy was awesome. I love the way he breaks down everything. His tears of dog lovers, like, that's one of my favorite videos of all time, So, exactly. So, there you go, Dark. You guys are talking about some shit I would actually really like to talk about in a later video. So if you guys think that you'd like to email me your stories about being ganged up on either by law enforcement or your family, Slime, I did a video about Slime's family ganging up on him. I would love to cover your topics. And if you want to stay anonymous, that's okay too. Beanie will be here soon and she'll put up the email. And if for some reason she isn't, because she's driving through like terrible traffic, then you can find the email on my page in the About section. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Matthew said, I can admit this in my first game rage. Oh, you guys are still talking about game. You guys always talk about game rage. I'm not a gamer, so That's fine. I'm not judging. But yeah, I always just go, I have no idea what they're talking about. You know what, though? I know a lot of shit, and that's one thing I know fucking nothing about. So you guys have got me in spades on that one. And math. Please don't bring up math. He says his first game rage in front of people was at 8. Well, that makes sense. I was at a Rastan attraction, attraction, and a takeaway shop was rich enough to... Fair enough. Okay. And so, they're going on about how, like, they were outnumbered and beat up. Any one of these people could have whooped their ass, and they didn't. So Matthew says, good thing you learn quick. That helps you get better at it. Word of the day, which I've always loved word of the day. I think dog awareness information can get exhausted. You've heard it all, but there's always something in the news. That's so funny because that's exactly what I said the other day. It's not like I can't make my whole topic all about dogs. There's so many fucking attacks. It happens every day, multiple times a day. People dying every couple days. We all know the statistics fall around an average of someone killed by a pit bull every 14 days, right? But I think it's really important to present all of us of not... I get this a lot from people that they think that this is like all we do. And when you see us, what's up, Cosmos? When you see us talking about it online and joining these live chats and groups, Beatty, it makes us seem like we are only fixated on that. They don't stop to think like we have a life. When I see someone that, works mechanics and I'm looking up videos on YouTube to learn about a certain fuel pump I don't know shit about, I don't think to myself like that must be all this person does. But you see like their auto shop, their garage or whatever, and you can kind of go, damn, this motherfucker, spends a lot of time with cars, So what's up, Maurice? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Slime says there's something that I've never talked about before. I mean, what I'm about to say isn't a bad thing, but it's a normal thing. There's a secret I want to talk about that my family does not know about. Slime, if you'd like to send that to me via email and we do a live stream about it, or if you want to talk about it here, it's totally fine. I kind of want to create like a forum discussion board where we can all talk about multiple topics, whether you're talking about raging out on a game or your fucking neighbor's dog or your anxiety or your toxic family or the fact that you found out you're toxic as fuck. Hey, man, this is the place. And most of us are anonymous, right? I'm not because I don't give a fuck, but it's not the point. Change your username, just use this. Yeah, that's totally real name, and whatever makes you happy. Okay. Thank you, Asher. Put up the email. So that's the email still. Thank you. So if you guys want to send your stories, please do. I would love to cover an array of topics. It could be related to dogs, not, or anything else. I really, really want to branch out and create kind of, that's why I named it and changed the name to this. I'm learning from life with Ashley. That's how I learned all this. I learned marriage is fucking dumb because it cost me $1,200 in total yesterday. I've learned that kids can be very powerful and violent when they come off of laughing gas. I've learned that I can take some hits and not swing back. I've never been able to do that since I was a kid. So, literally pit bull victim awareness posts daily. Exactly. And that's my point, is like kind of branch it out. Change things up. Anti-Pause Clause says, this is just one of my other accounts I mainly use on I Hate Dogs channel. Oh, cool. See, I only have the one account. I'm not tech savvy enough, and they don't have multiple accounts. I created another Dogs Are Garbage account as a backup account in case they shut mine down. And then I thought, like, well, if they do that, I won't have any of the videos and shit anyways. What the fuck, right? And so I don't want to sound weird, but the secret my family doesn't know about is I secretly have crushes on fictional characters. And I know my family would make fun of me if I told them that. All right, let me address this real quick, Slime. YouTube took the live chat button away. It pisses me off so much. Look, Slime. It's not that that's unusual, all right? People can have, like, crushes on characters from Star Wars where, like, the actor himself, herself, right, maybe like a real human, but they're portraying a fictional character. All I'm going to say is this, and this is just my opinion, does not make it right or wrong, and you guys can feel free to throw in your opinions too, but everybody needs to be polite, okay? this could be a coping mechanism, as something helping getting you through, or the fact that you're having trouble making like real life relationships and shit. I don't see a problem as long as it's not taking over your life and preventing you from being able to work or eat or socialize with people generally. Okay, so I do think you could take it too fucking far. Okay, so just be careful. Don't get too wrapped up in your head. I've done it. I know I'm pretty okay now. I've not done the fictional character crush thing, but I have dealt with some severe issues throughout my life. Okay? Severe issues. It's easy to get wrapped up in your head. So just make sure you're separating that from reality. And if you get the chance to partner up with someone in real life and experience love, physical intimacy, all these things, take it. Take it and be happy to have it. I don't regret any of the people that I've spent my time with and gotten close to. Okay. He says, I am able to do things for sure, but I'll listen to your advice. I just want to make sure that you're mentally healthy. And as Nocturnal says, yeah, Ashley, for most of middle school, I had to go through therapy because I had severe issues. I did too. Lots of therapy and lots of crazy shit that happened in my life. My mother was charged as a felony child abuser. You know what it's like to have a mom that's already not there and then have her, she's not even allowed to live near a school, like a pedophile. And she got charges that were similar to those that a pedophile would get because of the stuff she had done. So you already don't bond as a woman with their mother and then have that kind of stuff happen. And see how like dark my eyes got when I talk about it? It still fucks me up. Both of them are dead now, both my parents, and it's still fucking me up. If anything, the recent death of my father like brought those things back out that I had coped with and felt like were over for well over 10 years and are now like back to the surface, ramping up more of my anxiety. Anti-pause cause says my mother was an alcoholic that would physically hit my father, and she was a dog nutter. My mother too. What's up, K-Nun? Good to see you. So yeah, I know how it is. And I did a video where I covered the fact that not only would my mother take better care of her dog than she did us and dote over the dog and put us down in front of it, but her boyfriends and husbands used dogs to manipulate my sisters and I into stuff. I covered that in my pedophiles video. The world is dark, and I find that it's really, really, really important to talk about it. Thank you, Auntie Nutnut. And see, that's what I find more of. And I tell people, it's not like you're alone. Go to a YouTube page, go to a Facebook page. We've got social media. We didn't have this shit when I was young. Okay? Just walk around going, everybody knows my life is fucked up, and they all see, yeah, it's good to see you. They all see my life. They see that I'm not clean, that I'm wearing the same clothes every day. Everybody knows that my mom's like an enraged hooker, and you can't hide from that. And there was no one to talk to. Like, people avoided me because it was uncomfortable for them to talk to me or to hear that. What's up, Quasar? So yeah, life's fucked. And see, I've talked to a couple people like, Dark Nocturnal's here, that if you want to share your stories, please do. Not wearing the same hoodie every day is quite different than wearing the same clothes every day because you don't have them, And I can go on and on into that. And I openly speak about the trauma that took place in my life. I feel that if I hadn't opened up about it, and I would still be repressing these feelings, and it would be coming out in the wrong ways, which is why and how I kept getting arrested, which is why I kept fucking drinking. Okay. And Anti-Pause Clause says, thankful to have an understanding doctor who has known me for a while now. I think anyone else out there would undermine me if they didn't know me personally. Yeah. I feel this desperate need to explain to people, like, right away, why I am the way I am. That's part of why I'm so determined right now. I get this divorce done, that I no longer have to explain to people that try to get close to me in a romantic relationship, like, by the way, I'm married and I've been married for 17 years and I don't know anything about the person. We were only together for 6 months and I gave the kid up for adoption. Yeah, I did. But my daughter is now 17 and about to start college here soon and wants to stay in my extra house to go to college. And I've changed my life around. I broke generational cycles that could have held me down. I want to get, my legal issues finished so that instead, think of all this stuff I have to throw on someone when I meet them. Hey, I'm Ashley. I'm a former alcoholic that got in trouble for alcohol twice, costing me a grand total of $22,000. I'm still married to a guy I don't know from 17 years ago. I'm a single mom and I hate dogs. It goes over real well. And then past all of that, if you find someone that does understand and accept you for those things, well, then there's all the other stuff that comes with trying to bond with someone. How do you like to sleep in the bed? Which direction does the toilet paper go on the roll? Ashley, why'd you put that there? Why do you have so much OCD? I don't want to eat that, and all this other shit. So, come on. I'm saying. Everybody wears the same sweater every day. I don't wear sweaters. I live in Arizona. Auntie Muttnut knows how I feel. We don't wear sweaters. Not until like deep winter. Which even then, so people would be like, holy shit. See, like Kanan said, so few people will accept just the one detail. Hating dogs. Slime says, it feels good to talk about my secret, so thank you guys for not being rude. Of course not. Now, like I said, keep your shit in check, though. Don't go all mental on us, so we're going to have to kick your ass. Asher says, I don't know, I might have you beat. Asher, that was only the tip of the iceberg. You don't want me to keep going. Look, I've already got veins popping out. Sweater who? I love y'all. Thankfully, because I was in therapy, I was able to get over that and no longer assume the worst of men before getting to know them, Dark Nocturnal said. Beanie says, Ashley, it'll feel so good to get that off of your back. It will. And I'd rather like an AZ than New York. Goddamn right. That's what's up. I've said that a couple times. Actually, that was at my relationship I've been struggling with. And, he's from New York. I live in Arizona. And I'm like, I don't want to be in New York. The laws are too fucking stupid. I've got enough stuff to handle in my life. $854 on a divorce, along with the paperwork and $1,200, says I'm staying where the fuck I am for a while. I'm just proud and happy to be a working woman that can actually afford to do that. I said that yesterday. I'm like, I know this is like terrible. On a positive note, most single mothers or fathers or single working people, fuck, even people without kids, all right, would hear a bill like $854 and just go, shit, I'm never going to have that. I do. Just was really holding on to it for other things. So 92 degrees wasn't, dude, it's not so bad today, Muttnut, but it's fucking humid. Okay, so definitely stupid. I know your rivers run deep, but we still love you, Asher. All that money for a divorce, Dark Nocturnal says, remind me again why dying alone is a bad thing. That's why I said this is Learning from Life with Ashley, and I'm going to share the story. And Dark Nocturnal, I'd say, if you want to hear not only how much money it was, but how much of a pain in the ass it was, physically, paperwork-wise, the whole thing, listen to the beginning of the story. See, Auntie Muttnut has to work outside today. I'm so sorry. I have the next few days off because of William's dental surgery. It is not a fucking good thing. I need money. Still a line from How High there. It's fucked. I'll be back to work this week, and he's doing good, so everything's going to be fine. Says, in New York, people whine whatever the weather or temperature is. I've actually noticed that. Some Arizonans do, but you know what I've noticed about Arizonans is we're actually like a bit more proud. about our climate and our state and shit. I was reading a bunch of stuff they did the other day in the paper. I won't get into it because it's a lot of like controversial views that we all may not have in common. It's not necessary. I like to focus on what we do have in common, and was just going like, wow, what a proud place. I mean, we just have so many great things to say about ourselves. Soda Pop Jones says the state of Arizona tried to kill me last time I drove through it. I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know if you mean the heat or what. See, Quasar says we have badges of honor for survival here. I just realized we have a handful of Arizonans in here right now, and that makes me happy. It really does. And I'm proud of my state. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, right? But I'm proud to be here. So let's see. Let's all wish Auntie Muttnut a good day working outside. Hold on, I gotta grab a tissue. And you're right, K-Nun. But we've had some humidity lately. We had a very active monsoon season this year. And then the hurricane that went up the coast of California threw a lot of humidity our way. So, Dark Nocturnal, that's why I took so many videos down and made them private and unlisted, because they started warning me. The only reason my shit doesn't get in more trouble is because I don't put up video clips. So, anyways, let's see if we all road related. Oh, Soda Pop Jones. Dirty thing about Arizona. If you're in and around Phoenix, specifically, dangerous place. Everyone drives really fucking fast, and the heat and guns. We've got a lot of guns, and people are not afraid to brandish them. It is the wild, wild west in that sense. Yet, it, like I said, it's the Wild West for real. And people don't understand. Like, let's compare like New York, where there's all kinds of like gun laws, since everybody keeps bringing up New York, to Arizona. Someone down at the river one day said, they were like, they were talking about something with like laws, and someone that lives here is like, dude, you could get in your boat right now, drive around in circles and shoot your gun into the air and zoom off, and no one would even call the cops. And dude's like, oh my God, he was from a whole other state. He was just shocked. He thought we were being dramatic. And no, everybody looks over is like, no, that's really exactly kind of how it is. We don't have a lot of issues out here either, unless you're talking about fucking Phoenix, which I hate Phoenix. Love, hate. Okay? So, let's see. Yes, so in New York, the driving is nuts too. And yes, the laws suck. You can't defend yourself or feel safe here. Another reason I fucking hate it out there. When here, provided you're not on like parole or probation or something, or a felon, which is a whole nother story, you can defend yourself. And even if you are like in those situations, you can. So it sounds like anarchy to me. I like it. Me too. It's a different place. We're a whole different animal. So says that was the one time I chose to drive slower than the speed limit. Soda Pop, if you're around, it's better to just go over to the slow lanes and play it safe. Okay. And yes, people are also surprised by our drive-through liquor stores. This is true. We do have that. I remember moving away from here when I was younger and going to another state. I went to Ohio, and I went like, what the hell? Now, they had drive-through liquor stores, but only in certain areas. Okay? You've had a really hot summer, Slime. I'm from California and still have most of my... You guys were hotter than us. We didn't even hit 120 degrees. I live in one of the hottest cities in the nation. We didn't even hit 120 degrees. California did. Their glaciers lost like inches of ice last week alone, just in that week, because the temperatures were so fucking high. So it's fucking crazy. I get thirsty. No shit. So I've got to go get more coffee. I've got to get about my day. Okay? Yes. Be careful you don't drink too often. I've been cutting back. Antipause, cause, Dark Nocturnal. There's something I can definitely talk about. Like I said, 2 separate alcohol charges, costing me a grand total of lawyers and fines, hardly included, 22 grand, and fixing all of my license and looking like an asshole and having to, like I said, tell people when I meet them and get close to them, and being a felon. I'm a felon because of drinking. Yeah, I whooped some ass, but it was because I was wasted. I don't even hardly remember any of it. And so it's real sad because, like, I've always been like this, where I want to help people. I like helping my community. I'm a good mother. I like doing all these things. And now I have like this dark cloud over me that's never going to go away. Never. Just because alcohol. So be careful. Tread lightly, my friends, especially talking to all y'all when you've got issues, mental problems, anxiety problems, trauma from childhood, trauma in adulthood, any of this kind of stuff. When I cover the ayahuasca thing, the really cool thing about the difference between the two of us is that Morpheus had a really great experience and it opened up his mind and helped him. Mine didn't. Mine brought out all types of repressed, fucked up memories. So mind-altering substances do different things to different people, although I do still support the use of ayahuasca. I love old champagne and scotch and bourbon. Look how happy I got. But had to learn to drink with moderation. I won't make the joke like whoever that is, but the legal system is unforgiving. And Soda Pop Jones, I've seen a story about a guy who accidentally killed a guy that was yelling racial slurs at him, and he punched him in the head, and the guy died. And he got as much time as I did. 5 years in prison hanging over my head for what I did. Okay? Yes, I have had an ayahuasca trip. I tried it twice. I've tried a lot of drugs. I've tried drugs. People don't even know what the fuck they are. I used to deal with a lot of drugs. I'm completely clean and sober now. It's crazy. I've been sober for years. I'm part of a sober channel on YouTube. No, nothing. It's crazy. When I'm being honest with people, I can say that throughout like those years, I have like a social drink here and there, but really not. And especially when you consider the fact that I drank fucking bottles and bottles of scotch. So yeah, 5 whole years. Anti-pause class. I was a monster drinking liquor. I switched to beer and hard seltzer. Would just binge drink those two, and slept so soundly last night without anything. So you know what? That's what happened to me. I had all these sleeping issues, and I quit drinking, and suddenly I'm fucking fine. I sleep. I've never slept like this in my life. I've always had these insomnia problems. Suddenly I'm fine. Oh, your sister and I would get along. I love scotch. At least ayahuasca is an introspective type drug, not an addictive, destructive one. I've never done it. It's basically DMT and ayahuasca are quite different. But we'll cover this in another video because I have a lot to say about this stuff. And I used to help distribute it and help people with their trips. And I was not a shaman. We're not saying that. I've worked with a lot of them. We will, hey, Beanie, I've wasted way too much of my life doing things I shouldn't, and I regret it so badly. Regretting's okay as long as you learn from it. If you're just going to live in regret, then that's not healthy, and you're way too awesome to do that. So, yeah, I am going to wrap this up. I need more coffee, and my ass is falling asleep. And I'm going to go exercise and keep myself busy as I am quitting smoking. Yeah, Dark Nocturnal, your life is just begun. So you make good decisions. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Okay? Thank you, Asher. You guys have a great day. I love you guys. Yeah, I'm not getting my years back either, Beanie, but here we are. I love you guys very much. I wish you all the best and happiness and all that cliche shit. And fuck Fluffy. And until next time, okay? Until next time, protect yourselves, be happy, love yourself, treat yourself well, cut off your addictions, protect yourself, all that shit. And I'll see you soon. I'll keep you updated on my progress.